In the annals of human struggle for freedom, few figures shine as brightly as Nelson Mandela. His life, a tapestry of sacrifice, resilience, and reconciliation, transcends the story of one man to become a universal symbol of hope against oppression. Born on July 18, 1918, in the rural village of Vezo, South Africa, Mandela evolved from a provincial youth into the moral compass of a nation, leading his people out of the darkness of apartheid and into a new era of democracy. His journey reveals how unwavering principle, combined with pragmatic wisdom, can reshape history. Mandela's early years were rooted in the traditions of the Thembu people. His father, a chief of the Madiba clan, instilled in him a sense of duty and leadership. After his father's death, young Rolihlahla was placed under the guardianship of Chief Jongintaba Dalindibo, which opened doors to education, first at Clarkeberry Boarding Institute, then Helltown Comprehensive School, and finally the University of Fort Hare. There, he encountered ideas that would shape his worldview: the power of collective action, the injustice of colonial rule, and the necessity of self-determination. His political awakening accelerated in Johannesburg, where he moved in 1941 to escape an arranged marriage. Working as a night watchman and studying law, he witnessed the brutal realities of apartheid, racial segregation enforced by law, limiting Black South Africans' rights to land, movement, education, and political participation. In 1944, he co-founded the African National Congress and Youth League, injecting new energy into the anti-apartheid movement. His charisma, eloquence, and strategic thinking quickly elevated him within the ANC ranks. By the 1950s, Mandela emerged as a key architect of nonviolent resistance. He helped organize the Defiance Campaign 1952, which mobilized thousands to break apartheid laws through peaceful protests, boycotts, and civil disobedience. His legal practice, one of the few Black-owned firms in Johannesburg, provided free or low-cost representation to those victimized by apartheid policies. Yet as state repression intensified, he and other ANC leaders began to reconsider tactics. The Sharpeville Massacre of 1960, where police killed 6 peaceful protesters, marked a turning point. Banned from public speaking and facing increasing surveillance, Mandela went underground. In 1961, he co-founded Umkhonto MK, the armed wing of the ANC, believing that non-violence alone could no longer counter the regime's brutality. His clandestine travels across Africa and Europe to seek support for the liberation struggle demonstrated his commitment, but also exposed him to greater risk. In 1962, he was arrested and sentenced to 5 years for leaving the country illegally and inciting workers' strikes. The following year, police raided the ANC's Liliesleaf farm hideout, uncovering evidence linking Mandela to MKS activities. At the Rivonia trial 1963-1964, he faced the death penalty. His 3-hour speech from the dock, where he declared, "I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society. It is an ideal for which I am prepared to die," became a defining moment in South Africa's freedom struggle. Though spared execution, he was sentenced to life imprisonment. For 7 years, Mandela endured the harsh conditions of Robben Island, Pollsmoor, and Victorverster prisons. Yet his spirit remained unbroken. He studied, debated, and mentored fellow prisoners, transforming his cell into a classroom. Internationally, his name became synonymous with resistance. Free Mandela rallies echoed across continents, and his image graced banners from London to New York. Even in captivity, he was a force, negotiating covertly with government officials while maintaining the ANC's moral authority. In the late 1980s, as apartheid's economic and diplomatic isolation deepened, PRESIDNTF.W. de Klerk recognized the need for reform. In 1990, he ordered Mandela's release, an event watched by millions worldwide. Stepping out of prison at 71 years old, Mandela chose reconciliation over revenge. He negotiated with de Klerk's government, balancing firm demands for equality with pragmatic compromises to avoid civil war. His leadership during this fragile transition earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993, shared with de Klerk. On April 7, 1994, history was made. South Africa held its first fully democratic elections with universal suffrage. Mandela, voting for the first time in his life, led the Inc. to victory. On May 10, 1994, he was sworn in as South Africa's first black president, a moment of national catharsis. His presidency 1999 focused on healing and institution building. Truth and Reconciliation Commission TRC, led by Archbishop Desmond Tutu. It allowed victims and perpetrators of apartheid-era crimes to testify, prioritizing truth over retribution. Constitutional reform oversaw the drafting of a progressive constitution, enshrining equality, human rights, and multi-party democracy. Social programs expanded access to housing, education, and healthcare for marginalized communities. Economic policy balanced the need for growth with redistribution, though critics argued reforms were too cautious. International diplomacy positioned South Africa as a regional leader, mediating conflicts and promoting Pan-African unity. After stepping down in 1999, Mandela remained a global elder statesman. He championed HIV, AIDS awareness, children's rights, and conflict resolution in Africa. His foundation promoted education and social justice, while his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom 1994, became a bestseller and inspiration. Despite declining health in later years, he maintained a dignified presence, attending events like the 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa. Key elements of his legacy include moral leadership, demonstrated that forgiveness and dialogue can heal deep societal wounds. Strategic resilience, persisted through 27 years of imprisonment without compromising core principles. Democratic architect, guided South Africa's peaceful transition from apartheid to majority rule. Global icon, became a symbol of human rights and dignity worldwide. Reconciliation model, showed that justice need not always mean vengeance. Cultural impact, his image, speeches, and life story continue to inspire art, film, and activism. Enduring values, taught that courage, humility, and empathy are essential for true leadership. Nelson Mandela passed away on December 5, 2013, at age 95, leaving behind a nation forever transformed. Yet his legacy extends beyond South Africa. It speaks to the universal human capacity to overcome hatred with hope, division with unity, and despair with perseverance. From a rural village to the presidency, his life proves that one person's unwavering commitment to justice can alter the course of history. Mandela's story isn't just about ending apartheid. It's about the enduring power of the human spirit to rise, forgive, and rebuild. His name remains synonymous not with power, but with the quiet strength that comes from knowing what is right and having the courage to pursue it, no matter the cost.